a 4G 2 megapixel IP PTZ camera. It has a 10 zoom, 50 meter IR. It's an extremely impressive kit. It's available with free delivery from freetv.ie. And what's really impressive about this is that it's set up as a kit to come directly out of the box and allow you to install this and set it up on your phone and have it run only off of your mobile SIM card. Okay, so we put an enormous amount of effort into putting this kit together. We've pre-configured this with unique ID, passwords, etc. And it'll mean that you can come along, and in the second video we're going to show you exactly how we can come along and set this up on your phone. So we have this one video now going to demonstrate how you put the kit together and what comes in it and what options you have with it. And the second video will show how to download the app, configure it, and be able to, in a matter of minutes, go from the point of having it on your phone to actually controlling your PTZ over the 4G network. Right, what do you get and how does it work? So we'll just start off. When you order it, basically you're going to be getting the router, the SIM card, which is here, the PTZ, and some accessories. So the very first thing we do is we would take out the SIM card here. So it's in the original pack. We break off the SIM card and we will insert it, or you will insert it, directly into the back here where you see the SIM card symbol. And we'll get the power unit here that comes with the router. We'll install it in here, and now we have the router powered up. Okay. From the moment you power it on, it'll activate a signal and it'll send a signal back to the 3G network to say, here I am. And from that point, the 28 days that comes with the credit on this starts to tick down. Okay. So that's the first element of it. So what we need to do, just to briefly say, the reason we chose the 3G network is it's the easiest one to set up in the camera in terms of you can simply purchase a SIM card and set it up, where with other ones you need to register and all the rest of it, and that's difficult for us when we're pulling the kit together. In terms of general configuration as well, the 3 network is probably the easiest one to work with. When you come along and you go to top this up at a later point, well, all you need to do is just come along, look at the mobile number with it and top it up, and all of a sudden you have another 28 days credit on it. Okay, so now we have our router set up and we have our broadband service being provided via the SIM card. We want to send a signal from here over to the PTZ. So how are we going to do that? Well, the first thing we're going to do is we could run the LAN cable directly from here over to the PTZ and power the PTZ locally, as in have a power unit that comes with the PTZ right next to it. But a more efficient way to do it, we believe, is to actually come along and have the power unit that's running the PTZ, have that power unit right next to where the router is, simply because you're definitely going to have a power point there, okay? And if you're putting the power unit out next to the camera, you know, you'll need a power point out there. So what we're going to take advantage of the fact is that we have PoE injectors. So once again, I'm going to turn over the router here, see what I can do. And what we have is a LAN connection here, and I'm going to use this PoE injector. So basically, on this, there's two inputs. There's the data input here. There's also a power input here. And the power input I'm going to use is the power input that comes with this PTZ, which in this case is, just read it back, 24 volts and 1.5 amps. So one cable is feeding in our data, one cable is feeding in our power, and on this LAN cable coming out of here, and in this case we're providing a 10 meter LAN cable with it, should be more than sufficient for most applications. We come along, we click in the cable, we click in the cable connection here, and all of a sudden coming through this cable is two things: the data from the router and also the power from the power unit here. And on the far end of it here, we're going to come along and we're going to click this through. And on the output here, we have our data and we also have our power. And if we look at the connections here on the PTZ, we'll see that we have, first of all, a data connection here, and we'll also have a power input here. Now, just to mention one thing about the power unit I'd like to stress here is the power unit when we got it originally came and simply terminated in two cables, but we simply, this DC jack here, this is available in the little kit of components that comes with mounting the kit. So what we've done here is the PTZ, so we've actually just hardwired that in, and that's what it allowed us to power it up. So now all of a sudden we have powered, we've provided data over to PTZ, which allowed us to come back and allow us to link into it at a later point. And what we have here as well, we have the power that's running through the 10-meter cable is here, allowing us to centralize the location where we actually have this power unit. And what we'll do here is we'll actually just run back out, and we have it there. The other cables effectively at this point can be ignored simply because we have what we need in terms of the power and the connection, things like that. Now if we look at the PTZ itself, you can see the basic PTZ. We have a safety cable here where we can hook it on to make sure it's secure, particularly when we're mounting it. We have the bracket here being mounted on the base, and we're able to set this up and aim it exactly in the direction. And the great thing about PTZs, of course, is that we can cover a full 360 and there's nighttime vision on it, etc. Now, in the next video that's in the series here, we'll be taking it and coming along and configuring this to actually work on the app, and then we'll display how quick and easy it is. Because remember, on this box here, on the back side of it that I'm not showing is, we've given all the information that will allow us to extremely quickly do it. So we've configured this router with this PTZ. It is a kit. You couldn't mix it in the other thing unless you knew exactly what you're doing. And it's just to take all the hardship out of it here, and it's particularly applicable for farmers, obviously, for people who are trying to monitor something. There's no broadband in the area, and if somebody will say needed monitoring and they were mobile in terms of they wanted to have something that's going to work in one location for a week, or working somewhere, and move the security system to a new location the following week, this is an absolutely perfect system to do it, simply because it's built for mobility. And the price then of running it on a monthly basis is probably about 20 euros or so in terms of the data that you need to do it. And for periods when you're not using it, you can just do it. As long as you don't let it go more than 3 or 6 months, you'll be able to top that credit back up and it'll work again automatically for you once it's topped up with credit. That's another great advantage of going with the 3G or 3 network. So that's it anyway, an overview of the 4G. Oh, one final point I'm going to say, we do have one additional option with this that I quickly want to show you. And that is, if we have a situation where the 3 or 4G network in the area isn't as powerful as you'd like it to be, what we can do is, we have an option on the kit, come along and use a booster such as this. So it terminates in an SMA cable here. This particular one I think has a 5-meter cable, and it comes with a bracket and bolts. I just want to show the bolt plugs and bolts, but the plug and bolts for mounting this. So just say we come along and we had a weak signal where we were, we can actually add this aerial on and just disconnect the little aerials that come here. They'll just screw directly in where the 2 aerials were, and it allows us to come along and boost the signal and bring it in, and it can make a very significant difference to it. So that's an option on the product. By default we say no to it, but if you do need it, from experience talking to installers and things like that, in the type of location where people will be using it, probably in about 50% of locations, you would benefit from using an area like that in terms of the signal.